Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Arfin Febriansyah. I'm from evening class PBI. Here I made this video to submit midterm test, speaking in professional context. So let's begin. Today I will discuss about international journal. International Journal of Language Teaching and Education. First, abstract. This research employed a qualitative study using classroom action research approach by chemists and McDigrat, which was done during 3 cycles. Each of the cycle consists of 4 phases: planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. Well, each cycle was done in 2 meetings. Data were collected through the observation sheet, field notes, interview, and tests. The research findings show that there were improvements on student speaking skill in cycle 1. The process of teaching learning with show and tell methods suggested a potential improvement. The researcher found some minor technical problems and weaknesses that leave room for improvement. Afterward, necessary alterations and revisions were done and later applied in cycle 2 and 3. The result of the research suggested that the applied in cycle 2 and 3. The result of the research suggested that the students saw a tremendous improvement during the process of teaching learning. Mastery were increased. They were more active, enthusiastic, and confident in speaking. Subject areas: language teaching, keyword, show and tell method, speaking skill. And next, introduction. Speaking becomes one of the 4 by general high school student-based listening, reading, and writing. There are interactive process of constructing, meaning the inflow of producing and receiving and processing information. By speaking, the students are expected to be able to communicate and express the meaning of language in transaction and interpersonal spoken text to interact with surrounding in teaching and learning process. Speaking seems in teaching and learning process speaking seems difficult to students based on the research's experience as an English teacher in Junior High School 1 Atap Sungai Gelamuara Jambi. There were some problems during speaking class when one, the most problematic cause that always hamper students to speak in language learning process is the lack of vocabulary. The student got difficulties to find the appropriate words to express their ideas. Due to the level of the student, they were seemingly grasping hard for a word whenever they tried to speak. As the result, most students preferred to be quiet. Besides lack of vocabulary, the most troubling factor in speaking is lack of participation. When the teacher asks some question, they just kept silent and hesitate to answer. It took long time for them in uttering something and responding to question by using simple short answer with long pauses because they were not confident enough and afraid that they make mistakes in vocabulary, pronunciation, or other aspects of speaking. As a result of these 2 problems in speaking, the student become less participative and showed low motivation, especially in speaking activity. They did not enjoy the lesson. So, Antal methods basically define as a method in teaching and learning process by sharing 10 activity for students according to Barletta. Show and tell method denotes a practice where children are given opportunity to share an oral narrative about an object or experience. The object or experience is usually from their home life and told orally with their peers and with the teacher's support. Next, methodology. Methodology. The method employed in this research was CAR. According to Burns, CAR is a part of a broad movement that has been going on education. It is related to the ideas of reflective practice and the teacher as researcher. In this method, there are 4 components in one cycle for conducting classroom action: research, planning, action, observation, and reflection, which were conducted integratedly like spiral. Each piece is concluded based on the previous one and the next. The task which and the instrument used to collect the data are observation checklists, field notes, interview, and video tapping tasks which are administered to measure the student speaking skill after each cycle. The method used is qualitative method and numerical data as supporting data. The data in the form of qualitative method is obtained from the observation done by the collaborator during the teaching learning process about the whole activity and the student participation. It is done by checking the list of activity during the teaching learning process. Furthermore, it is also supported by taking field note, and the interviews are done after the teaching learning process, while numerical data are obtained from the test in from speaking performance. The result of the test within each process in analysis. To see the improvement of the student speaking skill, it shows the improvement of the student speaking score as one, the evidence of the effectiveness of so and the entire method for the student uh, for the student speaking skill. The score of the student speaking skill are rated by rating scale uploaded from Hilton rating scale that describe about the student ability to communicate orally, namely excellent, very good, satisfactory, very satisfactory, much difficulty, and extreme difficulty. Moreover, to see the student improvement, the researchers collected the speaking score by using numerical data obtained from the rating scale into numerical data. And next, results. This action research was conducted on August 1st, 2060, September The data consists of tests, interview, result, observation sheet, and field notes. To support the data to researchers, also the student achievement in speaking, field notes and the observation sheet show the student participation, teaching and learning process also suggested positive impact on student. Interviews showed the student positive feeling after being implemented in using show and tell method. In implementing show and the tell method, the researching found the effectiveness of this method in the classroom, which can be seen from the process of each cycle. Moreover, the researcher also found the result of interview and field notes to support the research. So the research result, as mentioned in methodology, the research comprises of three cycles. Each cycle consists of four steps. One, planning, where instruments were prepared in doing the action, such as syllabus, lessons, plans, the material used in implementing the action, supporting media, and also the evaluation material after conducting the action to measure the student speaking improvement. 2 and 3, action and observation, where the action were implemented. The researcher did the action is as planned in the lesson plan. The collaborator observed the student by checking the student observation sheet and for reflecting, where the researcher evaluated the action and made conclusion of what needed to be improvement in the next cycle. Next, the last conclusion. So Antal method was implemented by asking the student beforehand to bring objective related to the topics of the lesson, and then asked to narrate the random object they had gathered first. Since the first cycle when the method of show and the show method of show and tell was implemented, the researcher had already noticed an improvement during the process of teaching and learning process, particularly in speaking tasks. While the active are mostly designed to help students to be more active such as doing presentation in front of the class, and followed up by question and answer sessions where the opportunity to speak was maximized and the speaking tasks were enhanced. Show and tell method is very useful to enhance the student in speaking. Moreover, by implementing this method, the student speaking skill was improved. They were confident, active, and also enthusiastic in the student speaking skill, as well as the process of teaching and learning in which that method is being implemented. I think it's enough. I made this video from midterm test, speaking of professional context. Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.